Good evening and welcome to our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you, and we're up at the land of the Pinconning area Spartans, who have etched out their first win of the year, and a brand new coach trying to get this program back at the helm.
Kevin Cliff is going to do a great job. He's coming from the JV position at John Glenn High School the last couple of years under Corey Snyder. So I'm expecting him to bring a lot of that energy. And we all know when you're a new coach into a system and coming into a brand new system, you are trying to do so many different things from the ground up. So, you know, victories and wins and losses are going to be looked at a little bit differently this year for the Pinconning Spartans, although they did get the big win against Farwell and played a very tough Sanford Meridian team, even tougher a couple of days later. So this will be their first game back from the break. I'm excited to see what Coach Cliff is able to do.
Well, you know what it's like, Coach. You play through the month of December. Then you might get one game in that 2-week break off at the holidays. So really, you get to work on fundamentals, you get to work on conditioning, but there's really no substitute for having a different shirt to be facing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about trying to stagger your practices so that they're competitive in nature. If you're unable to have a game during that break, trying to get a scrimmage. But kids get tired of seeing each other, and we all know that basketball being the long season that it is, starting in early November and lasting through what you hope is late March. So that break right there, if there's no games, it really is a challenge. But on the flip side of it, when you are a new coach, it does give you a little bit more opportunity to maybe work on some more of your fundamentals or some more of your philosophy and try to continue to put layer after layer in.
This offense goes through DJ Levine.
Yeah, I like DJ. He's a great player. You know, I like watching a lot of these guys now after you've been reading about them for several years. You know, you read the M Live and what the Golden Pen Lee Thompson writes, and it's always nice to be able to see these guys in action after you've been reading about them.
Jack Chittle has a club for Montrose that's 0-3 on the year. They've been dealing with injuries. They're finally going to get back to all-state football players that are going to come back and make a difference. Their center in the middle is coming off 3 games of not being able to play. So for Coach tonight, I think he's got a lot of questions that need to be answered, too, as far as rotation and consistency of his club.
Well, if we're talking about how the lull between the Christmas break is, when you have a chance to play without 3 prominent players in December, whether it's 2 games, 3 games, it does allow the other players to work on identifying themselves and what they're able to do and what kind of workload that they're going to be able to maintain. Because you know once you're able to add the 3 key pieces, now you're able to build your depth a little bit more. And what you hope to allow yourself a little bit more opportunity to, play a little bit more with your lineups when you can add those 3 guys back.
Well, Macintas is their floor general for Montrose, and he's going to have to run the show tonight, but having 3 big options back certainly is going to make it a little bit easier for him to do his job.
Well, when you're a point guard and you're playing without those guys, again, it's going to show you and teach you a couple of different things that you need to work on, especially if you're a student of the game and you want to make sure that you're improving each game out. And as a point guard, understanding that role of how to get everybody involved and how you're able to get yourself involved, because you want to make sure there's a balance there to make sure that, you know, your players are still moving and they're still staying in rhythm. And now adding the 3 players back that he's probably has played with, has some comfort levels with, now it's just going to add. So as a point guard, it's exciting to add more pieces, but it's also nice to be able to grow and use that opportunity for growth.
Well, that about puts the wraps on our Covenant Healthcare sponsored pregame show. Excited about the possibilities. Back with all the game action in just a moment here on BCTV.
In the fight against cancer, you are never alone. The Covenant Cancer Care Center pledges to stand by you every step of the way. And standing with us now is MD Anderson Cancer Network, a program of MD Anderson Cancer Center, one of America's leading cancer care providers. This extraordinary affiliation gives families unprecedented access to world-renowned cancer treatment plans close to home. Together, we can fight cancer, hand in hand.
Good evening and welcome back to our Game of the Week action tonight. The Pinconning area Spartans and the Rams of Montrose as we get ready to make things happen tonight. Denny Wiltsey in the middle with Jim Wood and Jim Miller on the flanks tonight. Great officiating crew, Jason, and we're off with Montrose with the first offensive possession.
Little man-to-man look by the Spartans right now. Little scissor cut action by Montrose.
As we have a little bit of contact as Macintas was looking for a call and nothing there. So the first offensive possession for Labine led Pinconning area Spartans. How about that kiss off the high glass? Teddy Shark.
Teddy Shark, he's so excited he fell down out here. I think the crazy thing is he's left-handed. I'm about to give him credit for a left-handed kiss.
That was something truly special, and great look underneath the extra pass and unable to finish. But they're going to start over, reset the offense with a 3-ball going up. That ball goes out of bounds. It was last touched by the Montrose Rams. Evan Hockey goes back over to the Pinconning Spartans.
A little pressure right now by the Montrose Rams. A little token pressure or maybe a little diamond pressed or a little man just to try to create a little tempo. Quick trap there in the corner by the Rams. Situation like this,
and the clock is froze right now, so either they forgot to start the clock or
they're just impressed. They want us to stay a little longer today.
We'll find out what's going on. We've got our first foul of the game, and that's going to go against Emmendorf.
He's probably going, the clock wasn't going, does it
yeah,
even
it
count?
Shouldn't count. There they go. They got it rocking now as probably lost 12 to 15 seconds of play in time, but hey, all's well at the end. That ends well. So DJ Labine, he will be able to create his offense very, very well for the Pinconning area Spartans. Trying to slide it around right now to Parks.
Seeing right now a lot of action by the Spartans. Running with Teddy Shark down there, the 4-out 1 in, and they're just getting a little pass cut action, just trying to get a little flow to it. First game back from break.
As another shot goes up from Mazentis, not able to get that to drop. But again, as you see on a lot of three-pointers, Jason, that long rebound comes out and the offense has a pretty good chance to get a second opportunity.
Yeah, we preach that from a coaching staff standpoint. Long shots, long rebounds.
As that shot goes up, it's missed, but getting the Windex out, cleaning the glass. It is Chris Allen for the deuce.
I think this is a situation when you're point guard for Pinconning, you just clear out. Not really a major press, just trying to get them to bring the ball up the floor, maybe a little faster than they want to.
It's a tempo changer. If I come down, and we call it token pressure. I fully agree with that. Is they're going to try and get Labine the ball, and he's got to try and come off a screen, square up those feet, and let one fly. As that shot goes up, it is missed by number 5, Teddy Shark. And back come the Rams.
Good setup right there by Labine to Shark, just a little too hard.
As they fight for that loose change, and again, 28 feet from the basket, it pops back out. We're going to have an official's timeout right now for an injury, and that is not good if you're Coach Jack Chittle, because that's his point guard where just about everything runs through, and they're going to take a 30. We'll take a quick break and be back as well in a moment on BCTV.
Is your pain holding you back from things you enjoy, like playing with your grandchildren or participating in a sport? At Collier Chiropractic, we specialize in neck pain, back pain, headaches, or sciatica that won't go away. If you've tried chiropractic, you've tried physical therapy, you've gone to your medical doctor with no results, or you take medication and it doesn't even touch your pain, then put this number in your phone, give us a call, see how we're different at Collier Chiropractic Bay City.
Back here on Bay County TV as we get back to the action. Not really getting an idea to see what's going on. Looks like he might have rolled the ankle a little bit.
Looked like he came down on an ankle when he was attacking the basket that last time down on their possession. Coming in to replace the number 2, Johnny Mullis Sr. So, we're going to see what they can do without their floor leader.
This is something that is going to alter the Montrose Ram offense for sure. And good defensive pressure that time as they continue on. A great pass to the backside. not able to make it happen. We're going to have White out of bounds. Looks like somebody is going to be getting a little push as they tried to get a position underneath the basket.
Yeah, I think he just kind of got a little off balance there. I don't think it was certainly something that he intended to do, as Montrose will set up their man-to-man look right here. Maybe try and get a quick trap in the corner if it goes to the corner.
Levine and Resler back right now. And again, I like the fact, there you go. That's exactly what you're looking for, Coach. You just want to have him bring the ball down the floor, back everybody off, and let him beat his man one-on-one.
They'd like to do a little screen, a little pick and roll as Levine steps back for a three there.
Shot goes up just a little bit off the mark, and the rebound comes down to O'Neal.
Carson Parks probably had a little bit more time on that shot. I think he rushed it just a little bit.
There's the extra pass and a beautiful one, unable to finish. And going to the line will be Chris Allen. He's been active on both ends of the floor here early on for Montrose.
Got a couple of offensive boards, got a couple of putbacks that have not necessarily dropped, which also helps your offensive rebounding statistics as he goes to the line for a pair.
He will have an opportunity to shoot two. Bend to the knees, flick of the wrist, a little bit light on that first presentation. He'll have another one. Carter Blashinsky coming in for the Pinconning area Spartans, which adds a little girth underneath the basket.
He's not going to be cheated out of his positioning, I can guarantee right now. Second one will drop.
So, split of the two at the free throw line, and Marcus Hosner comes in to replace Chris as they'll make another rotation. And Montrose just showing a little bit different look now, kind of a token half-court pressure this time as they show a few different looks. Carter Blashinsky with a man-sized screen up top.
Well, they countered right there with Hosner coming in for Montrose. I think he's the equivalent of the Blashinsky size. He's a big fella. Nice spin right there. I like that by Hockey.
Well, and I like that no call as Cole Resler tried to draw that charge, and he really tried to accentuate that contact.
Accentuate.
It's always an interesting choice of words when you see that happening, but great no call from the officials there. Look at Carter Blashinsky. He zeroes it up, and then doing a not good job is Marcus Hosner. Instead of going straight up, Blashinsky says, I just banged my head on the floor, but I'm going to get 3 freebies from the charity stripe.
I tell you, we talked about that as a coaching staff, too. You know, don't foul a three-point shooter, especially after the ball is already released. The worst part is he sold out. He got the block, and unfortunately, when you leave your feet, you get the block, which is great, but unfortunately, you're off balance, you're out of control, and if there's a guy in front of you, as good as the block was, and I think Jimmy Wood, the official, made the call, you know, he tried to give him credit, but you know what? You couldn't let that extra body contact go.
Nope. When you knock them to the floor, that is something. And you're taught from your zone as the first of three is good. Jason, your job as primary in the area that the shooter's going on is you've got one job, and that is to make sure that the shooter has an opportunity to come cleanly back to the floor. Jim Wood was picture perfect in his technique on that, got the contact, made the call, absolutely just like you write it up.
I think a lot of times parents or even coaches will not understand that his job isn't watching necessarily the three-point shot, as there's a lane violation there on Pinconning that will negate free throw number 3.
Carter's like, I would have been 3 for 3 at the
Come
line,
on, man. Does that count as a miss?
Gee, that's not an official shot. They take it away. He's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. But I think a lot of times everyone thinks you're watching the ball go in the rim. You know, you have certain assignments as an official, and it's very important that you do your job so that player safety is important out there.
Well, and that's why I love these 3 officials. I enjoy working with them all, and they're just very good at their craft. And 3-point shot going up, halfway down and out as the rebound finally comes down to Teddy Shark, as we're already just tickling the 3-minute mark left in our first quarter. 5-4, Pinconning down a point.
Shark coming up with that pick right there.
Blashinsky was thinking about sending up another trifecta.
I was thinking it was a double dribble when he put the ball back down.
I don't know if he had that ball clean at the start. And Blashinsky's probably not going to win that race to the ball. as the shot goes up, and it is good from Emmendorfer as he made it happen. And Emmendorfer does a nice job of backing out, so there's minimal contact. 7-4 our score is a skip pass to Blashinski. Nice job up top. Levine had his feet squared away, just comes off the mark, and that shot almost put back in rebound style by number 2. Johnny Mall, he tipped that thing back up, and it almost tickled some twine.
Well, I tell you, just a quick injury update. They just have some ice over there on Monte Macentis' ankle right now, which, you know, as a coach is never a good sign when you ice up the ankle, take off the shoe. So hoping that he does get a speedy return, but I do not expect to see him back in this contest.
Air-mailed pass goes out of bounds, and it'll go back over to Montrose. Is coming in for Pinconning will be number 3, Nishotka, the quarterback from football, along with number 32, Nathan Lowers. And I like the job Nathan Lowers does. He knows his role on this team. He does a lot of things that don't show up in the stats.
Well, I think you get a lot of guys like that, and I think that's what Coach Cliff's buy-in as his first year. And you got a coach for a dad, you got a coach for a mom. You're around the game. You pick up things that, again, you just make the right basketball play, and that's what kind of kid he is. Also, Nishotka, just for the record, looks a lot bigger in football pads.
As they're back tickling that mid-court line as they move around the offense. And O'Neal's trying to dribble penetrate. Levine tips that ball away and gets it back. He gives it back to Cole Resler, who's going to be the floor general. I think that you're probably going to see Levine try and come off a screen on one of the wings and see if he can let one of those 3 balls fly. Tries to dribble penetrate. Excellent pass. And the finish for Lowers. What a great dribble penetration and a dish.
Couple of assists so far for Levine. Got one to Teddy Shark early, and now that one right there to Lowers. I think the thing about Levine that's impressive is his shot is good, but his sight, especially on the drives, he's able to see before the guy's even open. I think that's an excellent sign for not even a point guard necessarily, but just a basketball player.
But isn't that why at an early age as coaches you teach dribble with your head up so you can see the floor?
Absolutely.
And then you get your chin up on the rim and shot goes in. But great job by Zach O'Neal as he's able to kiss it with a little reverse layup.
Rams bringing Chris Allen, the Dennis Rodman of the Montrose Rams, back into the game for the last couple minutes here. He's now tasked with the assignment of guarding Nathan.
20 seconds and counting left in our first quarter as CJ from Cliffs is coming up here. I said, we better have some of that 50-50. They always do a nice job. Nobody knows how to say no to Cliff when he says it's time for a 50-50 ticket. And that will be the end of our first quarter of play, and our score, it is 9-6. Montrose over Pinconning. Back in a moment on Bay County TV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. As the Pinconning area Spartans will have the first possession, as Cole Resler is going to bring it into the front court. And I'll tell you, Jason, I think he's got an opportunity to be on the all-hair team at the end of the year. How about Lowers again with great body control? That thing was halfway down the hole and popped out. Another great offensive look, though.
I think the one thing about both of these teams that you're seeing is this is kind of the pace that they're scoring at this year. The game Pinconning knocked off Farwell, they hit 58 points, but this is kind of where they've been playing year-round. Same thing with Montrose. So you're in a situation where they're going to be patient. They want to be deliberate. It's not going to be up and down. It's not Loyola Marymount. It's not UNLV.
Right.
You know, they're going to be very patient by Pinconning. They get that pick and they get that roll, and it's one of the easiest things to teach, and it should be equally as easy to defend, you know, getting a little extra help, getting a little extra body in there, not creating any space. But right now, Pinconning's executed a couple of times. Just haven't finished, but they have executed the pick and roll.
Well, and Coach Kevin, that's all you can ask is that they're in a position to be able to get a great look at the basket. Finishing is the bonus.
Right, absolutely. And if they can buy into what they are doing too offensively, it does make it easier. There's their number 12, Chris Allen, again keeping the ball active.
And a great job of stepping into the passing lane by Nishotka. Resler goes back up top to Labine.
I think half of these Pinconning players could be on the all-hair team. They all got pretty hair.
Nice job. Look at Lowers getting all the loose change. Gets the Windex out. Sweeps and cleans the glass. Kissing it off it for another deuce.
Great position. Great body control. Nice little touch. As I mentioned before about Chris Allen just being a beast down there. But as I mentioned before, wasn't thinking we were going to see Monte Macentis coming back, but he is at the table right now, scores table right now, ready to check in after the first free throw.
Does he come back in after the first free throw on a little test pattern run, do you think?
I believe so. You ice it. There's just so much that goes into it. As Allen misses the first one.
And there's just an ever so slight hitch in the giddy up. But, a lot of times once you get running and that ankle warms back up, at that point you want to just keep on playing.
Right. At that point, tighten them up, tighten the laces up a little bit more. Plus the adrenaline's going to take over. You're a senior. It's a basketball game. It's Tuesday night. You're being recorded right now by two of the Bay County's best announcers.
As Lupke goes up and tickles the twine on the trifecta.
The freshman. Another all-hair member. I feel like the Beatles are out there.
They've got some folks. And a three-point shot going up from Macentis. And he can't get the shot to drop, but he's got to feel pretty good that he can get up and down the floor a couple times and got a great open look at a three.
Lowers with another screen.
Another three ball going up off the front iron and in. Brady Lupke back-to-back, tickle another twine.
Who said this isn't Loyola Marymount? Who said this isn't UNLV?
They heard you, Coach, and they said, oh, not so fast. We're going to go on a little 6-0 run here.
Good ball, again, but it was within the framework of their offense. They got good ball movement. They got the pick, they got the roll, and they got an open shot.
There's a nice rhythm shot for number 5, Emmendorfer, and he just could not get that to drop. Can you tell he was a member of the football team, Coach?
A little bit.
He was all-stater.
Ooh, yeah,
and we're going to have a little shuffling of the Tootsies. And again, 4 team fouls for Montrose and 2 for Pinconning. Hats off to Jim Wood, Jim Miller, and Denny Wiltsey for allowing these kids to play ball and clean up what has to be cleaned up. Gotta love it.
It's always great when you're a coach, you walk in and you just have another comfort level when you look at your officiating crew and know what you're going to get out of them.
What a great extra pass. Unable to finish, though, is Pennington. And he wishes he had that one back. Kind of short-armed it a little bit. Nice little pull-up from 5 on the wing. It is Nishotka.
10-0 run for the Spartans leading back to going back to last quarter. I tell you, the good ball movement, finding the right spot as the Spartans now drop back into a little 2-3 zone. Trying to mix things up a little bit, forcing the outside shot.
I think they might. They're going to get number 12, Chris Allen, and he's picked both of those fouls up on rebounds.
Yeah, it's a second foul, and unfortunately, still going to stay in the game right now. They're going to try not to pick up number 3 in the process.
Shot partially blocked. Very nice job as the ball comes back to the Rams.
Knows his limitations right there.
Yep, he says the head one's not for me. Emmendorfer wide open for a 3 ball in the rhythm. Tickles the twine on the try.
Again, extra pass. They make that extra pass right there.
And as a shooter, Jason, the thing is Emmendorfer felt that pass coming, set his feet up, and got a great look. Labine on the other end, not able to finish at that 16-12. Spartans still up by 4 with 3:45 and counting left in the first half.
Tell you what, the game has got a lot of nice flow to it. Not a lot of stops that are necessary.
As underneath, the shot goes up and unable to finish. As now we're going to have a reach in, and that's going to go against number 4, Evan Hockey. As great hustle by both teams, but when you look, Becentas didn't stay out on the floor long, and he asked Coach to come back out, and that ice is back on. So I would venture to say he's probably done for the night.
Yeah, like you said, give it a try. See if you can get it warmed up a little bit. Just kind of get the flow of it. But, again, we're talking January. We don't want to do anything damaging that's going to be too much of a long damaged for the season aspect of it. You don't want to miss more games off of an ankle injury. And we both know that a sprained ankle at times can be more detrimental to your ability than a broken ankle.
I would have liked to have had that three-point shot that he made down here tried. If that had gone in, if that would have added a little extra heat to the ankle and given him a few more trips up and down the floor.
Well, we all know that the adrenaline plays its ability into your mind as much as anything. And if you're doing something good, it's no different if you strike somebody out on a bad ankle and, all of a sudden you're throwing harder and you're pushing off and you don't even realize that your ankle shouldn't be doing what it's doing.
Well, the Pinconning area Spartans split of the two at the free throw line. Nice little skip pass. Square up the feet, let it fly. Double iron, won't go down. Look at the rebound coming down to Nishatka.
Well, we talked about him a lot during the football season. We did their game up here against Standish in the game 1 and was really impressed with his ability and what he's been able to do from 1 year as a freshman to this year. And basketball, seeing that same step, that same growth.
Great job by 3 officiating crew. You see a player drop down to the floor for Montrose, and if there's only 2 of you, they don't notice what's going on. Little pick into the pocket, coast to coast with a kiss off the glass for the deuce. I think the first deuce of the game for Levine.
It's his first deuce, but I tell you, he's been active on every aspect of this game. He's 3-4 assists right now. He's dropping the ball where it needs to get to, and that time he just took a little chance and was able to get his hand on the ball, deflect it, and make something happen.
We call that great anticipation. Shot goes up from number 11, and Hosner could not get that to drop. As they try and get that thing underneath Flowers, he's not shy about burping that thing up and unable to get it done. But again, you get another good look offensively.
Right, they pushed the ball up in transition before Montrose was able to get set back on the defensive side. That has been Montrose's best offense, is the offensive rebounds. And in this situation, Hosner is able to put the ball back, get fouled, and get his chance for a three-point play. The old-fashioned three-point play.
Yes, indeed. Go to the free throw line to try and finish off the three-point play the old-fashioned way. Hosner did a great job with my favorite rebound, Coach, that backside rebound. He sealed it up, put it right back up and in, and he'll be rewarded with a free throw attempt, and it's all Cotton on the delivery.
No, I'd like him and Allen. They're both on that offensive side of it are finding the right spots and, at least keeping the ball alive, giving their teammates an opportunity for second chance opportunities.
Resler moving that ball around in the shotgun. Thinking he's going to dribble penetrate. Nice job stopping on the baseline. A little 4-foot floater from the baseline, able to find the bottom of the hole.
I'm not going to overrule our officiating crew, but I think Nishaka gets away with a little bit of an extra step.
Got a little shuffling of the tootsies.
I think maybe I'm tuned into hearing it as an official. But then as a coach, you want to correct that. Hey, look, there's something wrong with your footwork. You got to fix that before we get into a game, and all of a sudden they are calling it.
21-15 with $1:20 and counting left in our first half. Pinconning area Spartans up 6 with possession. Shotka able to just get rid of that underneath. Look at Lowers. He is just big and strong, and we're going to have a foul down here, and that is going to be the 1-and-1.
Team foul number 8, 1-and-1 opportunity for Loris.
So Maul picks up his first, team's 8th foul. As coming in for the Pinconning area Spartans will be Carson Parks.
Spartans getting a 15-6 outburst here so far in the second quarter to put them up by 6 after they found themselves down by 3 at the end of quarter number 1.
Shot is missed by Lowers. One and done as the rebound comes down to the Rams from Montrose. Trying to go back up top. Resler had an idea, but couldn't get around that wide body of Emmendorfer. Emmendorfer sends that on the wing to O'Neal. He puts up a little trifecta. Can't get it to drop at the other end. Look at that, Emmendorfer with a little dipsy-do with a high kiss off the glass.
I'm not quite sure that he needed the dipsy-do part of it, but you know what? He knows he's on TV.
Made it look fancy. And then an unforced mistake by Pinconning of stepping over the end line before that ball gets inbound. And that's a free extra pass for the Montrose Rams here with 43 ticks left in the first half. Nice little ball movement underneath. Great look, unable to finish. There it is, that backside rebound again for Thaddeus Nishotka.
Nishotka found himself in the right position as Montrose was trying to sneak into that position on the backside.
So now you've got a situation here where I think Pinconning would, unless they get a backdoor cut for a layup, I think they look to take the last shot of the half.
Absolutely. Down to 15 seconds left. I think you're going to see a little dribble weave action or just pull it back up right there as Resler does. As we start the dribble weave action.
5 seconds left. The shot is going to try and take it to the hole. He better get rid of it in a hurry. The shot's off the iron at the end of the first half. The Pinconning area Spartans 21 and the Montrose Rams 17. We'll back to in just a moment to recap the first half, set the stage for the second half right here on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back at our Frank's Great Outdoors halftime show, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you. Patience and tempo was the first quarter, but just when we thought that was going to be the trademark for the game, the Pinconning area Spartans went on a little 10-0 run and showed some offense.
Well, they did, and I thought the best and most impressive part about it is everything that they were getting, their open looks, whether it was on the pick and roll or whether it was on Lupke getting a couple of three-point shots where he dropped them there early, it was all out of the offense. So they were running and getting their open shots off of what they wanted to do. They got the pick and roll, they got the pick and pops, and then of course you start getting that defensive side of it for Montrose to start sliding in. Now all of a sudden your three-point shooter who comes off the bench cold, but he hits two big threes to put them up.
Well, when we talk about Kevin Cliff in the first half, first thing that you said right away was great rotation. Played a lot of players, but I really think when Nate Lowers came in, it just changed things because he added a dimension on the glass.
You know, he was a player that came in the game, and I don't think they took him back out because he did a lot of those little things. You talked about it and you alluded to it when he first came into the game. He knows the game of basketball, and he's not going to necessarily always be in the headlines and being written about, but he does a lot of little things. He picks, he rolls, he finishes, but he sets his teammates up as well. So with him doing everything so fundamentally sound, it does open up a plethora of options for the rest of the team. And Levine has been picture perfect from a non-point guard, point guard standpoint. He really puts the ball into the places, into the pockets where it needs to get to.
Got to feel a little bit if you're Coach Jack Chittle for Montrose because you finally get everybody back. You finally get everybody healthy. You're led by Mazentis, your point guard. He goes down early with the bad ankle, and everything you worked for in your rotation gets tossed out the window, and you got to reformulate.
And of course, you know, he did it in a situation where he was really going hard. He was going to the basket. He ended up landing on someone's foot. He had a couple shots before the injury. He was attacking out before the injury. He did come back in there for, minute and 10 seconds. Didn't look very comfortable. Took one shot. Ended up going back out, icing back up on the ankle. Not sure if we'll see him here in the second half or not. But, again, like you said, your floor general, the person that you've been relying on to get you through the first couple of games while you're waiting on the rest of the group to come back, Now he's the one that saddles. So, he's going to be making some adjustments. I think the little bit of zone there at the end of the game, or at the end of the first half by Pinconning, I don't think it was a major impact. Montrose has got most of their offense of production on offensive rebounds, getting that weak side rebound. Chris Allen has been doing a great job. And then when he came into the game, Hosner came in got a couple. Emmendorfer hit a couple of shots in stride. The fact he's able to get that shot off, he's a strong kid, but he's getting it in stride. He hit that last three, but his other shots were looking good. So obviously as a coach, you're like, hey, you're going to have to keep shooting because we're going to need someone to pick up the slack.
Now, as a coach, I'm going to say that Coach Chittle is going to say the cup's half full because even though he had this injury to Macentis, he's got an opportunity to rotate other players that down the stretch of this marathon, not this sprint, right, he hopes will pay dividend for his club.
Well, I think we mentioned it too, talking about Macentis, just in the standpoint of you don't want to risk something January 4th when you're playing it through the end of March or mid-March. So, again, you're able to learn a lot about your character, your team. You're able to learn about the character. Even from a coaching standpoint, you're able to dissect some things that you could do better, and hopefully it'll pay off for those guys and pay some dividends.
Looking forward to the second half. That about puts the wraps on our Frank's Great Outdoors. Franks, they're just great. They do it all.
Down the road, too.
And they are just down the road indeed. Back for all the second half action in just a moment here on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Coquitlam or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on Bay County TV, Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you. Great job tonight by Connor Hildebrandt under the watchful eye of Jeff Hildebrandt. This is our 4-pack of fun here on BCTV on a Tuesday night up in Pinconning. The Spartans up by 4, playing defense, Jason, on their first possession of the second half.
Little man-to-man, going to go back at what they started the game off as Emmendorfer launches a 22-footer.
Kind of a knee ball on knee ball as number 5, Teddy Shark, kind of was a little off balance and had that collision.
Good call. Got a little action there. Got a little arm action.
He's more worried about the knee-on-knee action. He's rubbing it right now. It's amazing. Sometimes when you rub it, I don't know the psychological effect, but it just feels better.
Well, we were told when we were younger to rub dirt on it.
Yeah.
We had flour just for injuries.
0 out of 2 to start the second half for O'Neill at the free throw line. Not the way Coach Chittle wanted to see that first possession of the second half.
Yeah, Montrose going back with their man-to-man defense as Labine running the show again. A little pass and cut action. Just going to get a little basket cut. Just move the ball, waiting for that opportunity for a little pick and roll.
As Nashaki gets that ball back up top, Emmendorfer's sitting back there ready to jump that passing lane if they try a skip pass to Labine. Now they rotate around, and defensively it's going to be Allen on him.
Yeah, Emmendorfer over the top on that one. Able to get the steal after all.
Quickly down the court they come, and 1-on-2, nothing really there. They're going to reset the show.
Chris Allen, nice drive. Thought he could have.
Thought he should have finished. Yep, he thought maybe there was a little more traffic there than he anticipated as they skip pass back. Trying to go outside. I don't know that you're going to burp up from that far out.
Well, you can burp it up, but burp is the best you're going to do with a little acid reflux.
Hockey sent that up almost from another area code looking for the bottom of the hole.
I think Linwood was his destination.
I think he was going to be at Frank's Great Outdoors. Great job by Labine as he could not finish. And look out. He's heading in to say hey to all those in the student section. And he's a tough kid. He's got an A+ for effort on that last exchange.
I'm still trying to figure out what our student section's theme tonight is. I see some Hawaiian. I see a couple of lays up there, but I don't see enough of Magnum PI looking to get a good feel for it.
O'Neill sends that ball back up and around to number 4, Hockey.
I would go into Mr. Allen right there. I think that's a good decision right there. I think he's got the strength. I think he's got the agility, and getting the shock on his back, I think that's a good advantage right there for the Rams to take advantage of.
He kind of had the shock back on his heels a little bit, so nice attack to the hole, and he'll be rewarded with 2 at the free throw line. See if this will pay dividends for the Rams. First stroke is nice. Riley Hill coming in for the Pinconning area Spartans. Another one of those underclassmen. Look at the 9th and 10th graders on this club. That should be exciting for the future here for Kevin.
Just talked about it, getting those guys action in the first half, but he's going right back to them here in the second half as well. So, just trying to establish a nice deep rotation to allow yourself some opportunities, in the event you have an injury, in the event you have maybe a COVID shutdown. So you've got guys that have some experience.
There's a wide open 3. Resler with the rebound and the putback with a kiss off the high glass, but that was Levine's shot in the corner. He squared it up and let it fly just a little off the mark, but Resler anticipated where that rebound was going to come and used that expensive piece of glass for a deuce.
Offensive rebounds has been the theme of this game so far for both teams.
Emmendorfer is fouled by Levine, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2, and DJ said, man, I might want that back. If I would have gone straight up, that might not have been an issue, but when you reach in, you're going to get that call more often than not.
Yeah, more often than not, and it's a thing that as a coach, players, Coach, I didn't touch him. Coach, I didn't. You did. I'm not quite sure what you were looking or what you weren't feeling, but, I mean, as an innocent bystander, my God.
It was obvious to the men in stripes and to the coach looking at it objectively. And, again, the Rams have not done themselves any favors at the free throw line tonight, Coach.
No, right now 1 for 6 here to start the second half. As Allen will pick up number 3, and better be careful with his reaction.
And Mr. Wiltz, he turned around, too, and he's like, you are not going to showboat on this. I say that you either got some arm or you got some body, and we got 2 free throws.
Well, interesting enough, they called the foul on Hosner, but Hosner is at the table to check in right now. They got to call him over there.
Yeah, they're coming, and they're going to get it figured out, and it's going to be number 12. Yep, they did fix it.
He went from 21.
Yeah.
12. 122.
So
see,
when
we're
it's
giving
all
too
said
much
and
credit.
done,
We're giving
Riley
too
Hill
much
to the
credit.
line.
Yeah, that's right. Hill's at the line, shooting the second.
And again, there's another long rebound. Stepping out of bounds is number 2 on that play, Johnny Mall.
Them are the ones as a coach and as a player you hate, because it's great hustle. You did everything you were supposed to do, except you just weren't able to finish getting the ball.
Levine gets his defender off balance. Schottke sends up a 3 ball. That's off the mark. Resler doing a great job knocking that ball off number 2 Mall. And the Pinconning area Spartans with another possession offensively with a 4-point lead.
Well, right now you're seeing the hustle plays, those 50-50 balls being won by Pinconning, and you're also seeing on the scoreboard those 50-50 balls are leading to a victory in the making as they're up by 4 right now.
Here comes Emmendorfer. So he throws that thing to Hockey deep on the left side. What a great entry pass. Unable to make it happen, though.
Good weak
was
side
number
help.
11, Hosner, as the backside help did come over to help adjust that pass. Emmendorfer again picking the pocket. Resler back. He doesn't want to stand in front of that freight train going full speed. Tried to interrupt his flow and then backed off so that he didn't get contact and a chance for a 3 the other way.
Emmendorfer's 9th point of the game cuts the lead for the Spartans down to 2. We got a couple whistles.
As that ball goes down, and they're going to call it on the baseline before the shot. As here comes Nate Lowers back into the ball game, as well as number 14, Schmidt.
Well, he worked his way into the game in the first half and never came back off. Let's see what Nathan can do for an encore here in the second half.
As they move that ball around, and Resler's going to bring that ball back up top, reset the show.
Yeah, good. There's your ball screen. There's your roll. That's the part where you don't force it. It wasn't there. You don't have to force it.
That's exactly right. You got a 2-point lead with halfway through our third quarter of play, and let's make sure we get a good look offensively. 2-point lead.
I think in this situation to try to find a mismatch is the man-to-man is another long three by number 0, Zach O'Neill. Twinkles your twine as they take the lead, 24-23.
That was a good-looking shot, and that's the first lead since it was 9-6, I believe, that they had for the Montrose team, and that ball sails out of bounds and will go back over to the Pinconning area Spartans.
If I'm Pinconning right now, I would be looking maybe at a timeout, just maybe even a 30-second, just to calm things down. They're giving the ball back to Pinconning. I thought they
must
threw
have
the ball
been
out
tipped.
of bounds.
Hey, Coach Kevin back there, he's got the best seat in the house for that inbounds pass.
Okay, good. That's
Trying
better.
to move it. Yep. They're trying again. They're going to be patient offensively. Look at the great look underneath. Unable to finish, but a great look that time. Riley Hill couldn't finish, but exactly the right pass and the right spot on the floor.
Yeah, Loris commanded the double team. He had the front pressure, he had the backside, and as he went up, so did the backside help, leaving Riley Hill wide open. I'd still, if I'm Pinconning, I would still be looking maybe for a timeout. You got 5, haven't used any yet, especially if Montrose gets a bucket here. Even if they don't, you want to run something, you want to get something to get your lead back and get that confidence back for your team.
And I love watching plays out of timeouts, too, to see what coaches dial up, as Emmendorfer thought he was going to burp up a long ball, and defense on him is by Labine, who I feel is their best defender. Emmendorfer backs it off, and boy, he had that stroke going, and I think that Coach Kevin Cliff might want a TO right now to try and regroup the troops down 4, but with possession, the Pinconning area Spartans.
Going to try to keep rolling off it right now as they throw the ball down low to Loris. Nice left-handed turn.
Boy, just off the front iron, that thing another half-inch up, and I believe it rolls off the rim and through the cotton.
Well, you save the timeout. You get the shot that you would like anyway at the basket. Sometimes they drop, sometimes they don't. There's a good action down low right now for Montrose. They got the little 4-out-1 in with Hosner fighting with Loris down there. Now, I think it was a good move until he picked his dribble up. Emmendorfer picked his dribble up. I think getting Loris away from the basket.
No shot. We're going to have a timeout prior to the shot, and we'll take a break and be back in just a moment on BCTV.
At Covenant Healthcare, we lead with the most advanced technology. We lead with the most experienced, comprehensive medical and surgical teams. We lead with partnerships to teach our future doctors and with organizations who help us bring world-renowned care close to home. We lead because our patients are at the center of everything we do. Covenant Healthcare, extraordinary care for every generation.
Back here on Bay County TV as Coach Kevin Cliff is maximizing the timeout here. As a couple of seconds left in the 60. He gets his kids back on the floor. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you as Connor Hildebrandt and Jeff Hildebrandt are doing the camera work, a little producing, a little directing tonight, making sure we're staying in line. That's full-time work in itself for Jeff. So great to have them along with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Down on the baseline. What a great job by Nolan Smith.
Hosner with the finish there. Yeah, Hosner with the finish. Pinconning comes out through a little zone out of the timeout. Another nice little change of pace. Not sure if they're going to stay with it or not, but their biggest thing right now for Pinconning is they got to go back to doing what they do best. They brought in a couple new faces, a couple fresh legs. Lupke, the first half three-point specialist that hit a couple there in the first half, is back on the floor, as is freshman Garrett Zier.
Love that floater action from number 21, Zaire. Could not get the finish again. Pinconning's getting some great looks, Coach. They're just not able to finish.
Right, I think that's the part, is they're going to stay in the zone, try and chase a little bit. Bad part about the zone, if you don't get weak side rotation in that backside, and the low man coming up, you're going to give up a three-point opportunity, as Emmendorfer now has reached point number 15 here early in the second half.
As Labine dribble penetrated, had his dribble stopped, so now around the horn they go. I think Levine's going to take this shot out of the offense somewhere.
There's his nice screen. Good roll, good shot.
That's a huge basket for the Spartans with 40 ticks left in the third.
Well, we'll see what Montrose wants to do. You know, the thing is, if Pinconning's going to stay back in their zone, there's no reason to rush it. You have a 6-point lead. You just flip the score. You know, be patient. And that's what I'm talking about on the weak side. Levine is staying down on the block. He's got to start cheating up on there because Emmendorfer's hit a couple of the threes.
The skip pass, open look again, and off the mark. Look who gets the loose change. It's Lowers. Ill-advised pass and a turnover, and O'Neal sends it back over to Emmendorfer with 7 ticks left in the third. Nice job of defense that time by Pinconning to go straight up with 1.3 seconds left. Down by 6. They'll get a chance to inbound that ball, one dribble, and let one fly from three-quarter court.
Yeah, Emmendorfer coming up on that last shot.
As a three-quarter court shot goes up, and that is the delayed into the third quarter of play with our score. Montrose 32, the Spartans of Pinconning 26. Back for the final 8 in a moment.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, as we've got Covenant Healthcare, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, Collier Chiropractic, and Frank's Great Outdoors. Thank those 5 great sponsors for being with us this year. And Covenant Healthcare, our pregame sponsor, and Frank's Great Outdoors, that great halftime sponsor. As the Spartans down 6 are going to have the first offensive possession of the fourth quarter. 8 minutes and a 6-point deficit. This game is certainly well within their reach, Coach.
Well, they're staying at that 2-possession. That's the way I like to break things down. You're at a 2-possession game right now, and if this one goes in, that's to be a 1-possession. But you know that you want to stay away from that 3 and 4 possession type deficits. As Loris, another great move.
Boy, just off the iron, but again, like that first step to the hole and a good soft touch up there, just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
As Chris Allen is back on the floor with his 3 fouls for the Rams, as is Hosner. And Hosner's just too strong down there. I think Hosner and Allen, depending on who has the better matchup, the better strength matchup, is the one you're going to see posting up. That was a great decision to go down to Hosner.
Well, it was great recognition by the Rams that time offensively, and they find themselves up 8 points as DJ Levine sends that to the corner. Wide open look just off the mark that time for Lupke, who hit a couple in the first half. Lupke playing great defense, but last touched the ball. It goes back to the Rams.
Emmendorfer comes back in the game. You know, he was hobbled a little bit there the last 2 seconds of the third quarter, as Kevin Cliff is going to finally use a timeout there, full timeout for the Spartans.
We'll take a break, and with 6:59 left in the fourth, Spartans down 8. Back in a moment on BCTV.
Over the years, he's put his heart into being your dad. He was always there to fix things. Now that he needs help, don't lose hope. Covenant Center for the Heart is leading the way in minimally invasive heart options for inoperable or high-risk patients, with the first and most comprehensive structural heart disease program in the Great Lakes Bay region. It's extraordinary heart care, close to home.
Back here on BCTV as give me some coaches' thoughts coming out of that last TO, baby.
Well, you get the full timeout, so you're looking at a couple things. Number one, you've been noticing that Hosner and Allen both posting up down low strong. Maybe adjust something on the defensive end there. But this is what I expected to see. Maybe a little bit of pressure, trying to maybe get a little trapped, trying to speed Montrose up a little bit because you're going to need possessions at this point. So let's see what they do defensively. And I'm sure that wasn't what he drew up.
Again, the offensive rebound. There's a great backside rebound as Labine sealed off the backside and got a great big opportunity offensively to stay in single digits.
Now, on the 60-second aspect of the timeout, sometimes you'll even be able to say, hey, when we come out our next offensive possession, we're going to run this, or we want to run this, or maybe we're going to run a ghost screen here, maybe a pick and pop. You know, maybe we're just going to look to get a 3 ball. right now it looks like they're staying with their offense. And again, you have to be able to stay with what you're good at.
Well, and their bigs are both out on the wings for Montrose. They are not allowing Levine to get a shot off, and Levine may have forced that ball in a little bit to Lalonde. It was a great look, but just not a great entry bounce pass.
Yeah, the idea and everything was good as the Spartans go back from their zone back to the man right now. And again, looking at the mismatch, you're going to maybe get the ball to Hausner down low. He's got somebody that arguably, looking at him, at the two of them, has a little bit of a strength differential. As Emmendorfer, Emmendorfer's got a very aggressive take to him. It's like a fullback.
He's got football mentality when he's going to the hole, and it's going to take a real special person to want to stand there, set themselves defensively, gain legal guarding position, and then know they're going to get run over.
Garrett Zare, the freshman that came into the game here a couple minutes ago, tasked with the idea that he's going to have to take one right through the chest. As they bring in Resler back in, and 33 will also take a seat as Lalonde, the sophomore, kind of came in around that 7-minute mark, trying to get him a little bit of experience. Sophomore, got lots of years ahead of you. We talked about that earlier. The young team, lots of good things that Coach Cliff can hang his hat on with what he's got growing right now here in Pinconning.
Still single-digit deficit, down 9 with possession. Resler's going to dribble, penetrate, sends that thing back out. And had he been able to pick that up clean, Lepke would have been able to dish that thing up for a 3-ball. Resler thought about burping it up too, and he's thinking about dribble penetrating. Very good defense right now as stopped his passage to the basket.
Just got to keep their space right now. Every now and then they get a little congested. Little offensive opportunity, little volleyball action there.
Down the floor, Emmendorfer receives that pass like a running back coming out of the backfield on a little circle route as he sends that ball up top. And boy, that is a tough one for Pinconning as O'Neill drains it, and it's a 13-point deficit with 4:50 left.
So now we're looking at a 5-possession situation, and and I keep going back to that number because you're talking single digits at 9. That's a 3-possession game,
yeah.
So you're able to at least keep the players in that mindset. When you start getting into higher numbers, it's such a mental thing as we got to.
Coach, I think Coach Kevin is going to call a timeout prior to that shot with 4.5 left. We'll take a break and be back. It's 39-26, Montrose over Pinconning here on Bay County TV. Inside, outside, or even in your home, there are lots of ways to enjoy amazing food from Bay City Bills. Our dining room is ready for you, and we are ready for you with takeout too. Stop in to Bay City Bills at 1215 Michigan Avenue, or find us on Facebook or at www.baycitybills.com to see our full menu. Here on Bay County TV, I'd like to thank our sponsors again, Covenant Healthcare, Bay City Bills, Village Towing, Collier Chiropractic, and Frank's Great Outdoors. 5 awesome sponsors that are with us through the entirety of the year. Help make these broadcasts possible. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham along with you as we've got Connor Hildebrandt on the camera tonight doing a tremendous job as the Western High School student is elevating his game to the next level. He says, I'm looking to be with Bay County TV for decades to come. That's a dream of his since he was a young lad. We're trying to make that a reality.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's perfect.
I tell you, the one thing, Montrose, give Coach Chittle credit. Loris hasn't necessarily put all the shots into the basket, but his moves have been there. And as a coach, you've been around the game. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of doing it. They're watching him. They got 2 guys down there. They got a bigger guy, a bigger player out there on Levine. They know who the players they need to watch, and I think they're doing a great job of maintaining focus on that as well.
As another shot goes up that will not fall for the Pinconning area Spartans, and as you said it, Coach, they've had great looks, and you have to look at those looks that they've had and go, they're getting the right shot out of the offense, but at some point you got to hope that they'll finish that great look.
Right, and those are correctable things. Those are things you're going to be able to.
Timeout, Pinconning. They're going to take a break. Hold that thought. Coach, we'll be back in a moment.
Holding you back from things you enjoy, like playing with your grandchildren or participating in a sport. At Collier Chiropractic, we specialize in neck pain, back pain, headaches, or sciatica that won't go away. If you've tried chiropractic, you've tried physical therapy, you've gone to your medical doctor with no results, or you take medication and it doesn't even touch your pain, then put this number in your phone, give us a call, see how we're different at Collier Chiropractic, Bay City.
Back here on Bay County TV with 3:55 left. It's time for the Pinconning area Spartans to make a couple of great plays defensively, and they've got to turn the offensive end into instant points.
Yeah, they come out of that timeout looking to trap, maybe get some action out of the trap, trying to do something just to, again, speed up Montrose a little bit, as Hill is going to get called for a reach-in.
I like what Coach Chittle talked about in that break, and he's saying to his kids, we haven't won yet this year. This is where I want to teach patience offensively. If we don't get the high percentage shot, at least before anything happens, I want to take 30 to 40 seconds off the clock. And that theory goes right out the window as they try and burp one up, and Labine is one and done. But, see, that's where when you haven't won a game, as a coach, you got to say to your kids, as the rebound and the putback will be a foul on the play, but you've got to be in those situations before you can win to know how to act and what you need to do down the stretch to preserve that victory.
In that situation, I know there's always different talks, and especially if you're going, even if they were to score with a minute left up 13 to 15 and, they're running the score. It's not running the score up. They have got to keep working on things because it's such a long season. They've got to be in those situations. It's like taking a test. You can do all the homework you want, but until you're taking that test and in the spotlight and the lights are on and the clock's running and your number 2 pencil just ran out, as Riley Hill with a nice feed from Labine, you got to be able to execute.
They try and go underneath. Lowers with some great defense. The ball tipped out of bounds, and with 2:54 left in the game, goes back over to the Pinconning area Spartans, down 11.
Coach Chittle saying the same thing there, with Emmendorfer. I mean, you got in deep, just pull it back out. We don't need to force anything at this particular juncture.
Boy, nice job that time by O'Neill, as he knew he was going to be in a situation where he was close to the line. As Emmendorfer, even though that goes in, Coach, that is it's a 3, and they go back up by 14, but boy, there you just like to see him taking the air out of the basketball a little bit.
A little bit, but again, that's his 20th point. He's hit 4 3-pointers. Something, obviously, it's his game. That's different maybe if you get someone whose game it isn't. Maybe taking that shot, as Hill with another offensive rebound.
Hill's got a couple of really nice shots down the stretch here as pressure comes right now into the front court. Maul gets it, and they try and force it in. Why are they forcing it in right now? They don't need that transition basket.
That is one of the easiest turnovers, especially when you get weak side run like you just got, and the Shaka got that. It was perfect. But, a lot of times it looks open because that's where they want you to throw the ball to.
Yep.
They're baiting you. It's no different than when we do the drill and practice 3-on-2, and they throw the ball, and they always want to throw the cross-court pass. You can do that at the lower levels when you have kids who don't understand that weak side, their rotation. But this is varsity basketball, so you're going to have to understand that guy's sprinting back for that guy, for that person. So as open as it looks, sometimes the smart play is just to dribble it back out.
All right, we'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on Bay County TV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
As Coach Kevin Klipp talks to his troops and says, we're only down a dozen, we got to get a turnover, and we got to get some instant-o.
2 minutes left. They've got great pressure. That last offensive foul, a little bit detrimental to what he's trying to do, but on the flip side of it, Loris has been setting that good screen all game long, and you certainly going to want to encourage that continued action because that's really what they like to do.
Emmendorfer kind of got that thing around Labine, and that's what I think that Coach Chittle's looking for from that offense. They had a clear path to the basket. Great foul by Pinconning to not give up the easy deuce there, but when you're patient on offense, and Coach Chittle probably says to these kids, unless you've got an opportunity to go uncontested to the hole, let's just take the air out of the ball.
All right, good call, good decision. But, the other thing from Pinconning's standpoint, Montrose hasn't made a lot of the free throws tonight, as Allen puts that one to kibosh. But they haven't made a lot of free throws. So in a situation when you're trying to get back in, force extra possessions, put them to the line. The other side of it, through scouting, through huddle, through all the different – who you're going to want to foul. And the last thing you want to do is get a rebound and then a turnover.
Well, they got the ball back. And again, with 1:30 seconds left in the game, the shot with a little feather touch, floater from 5. Can't get it. Resler's going strong to the hole with a double pump. He can't get it to drop either. Labine says, I need to burp up a 3-ball. Back step as he tickles the twine on a 3. And with 1:13 left, it's back to 10. As they're going to try and get things done. The big fella says, I'm going to bring this thing down the floor. And Emmendorfer says, I'm going to do a little Euro. And the rebound and the putback, though, way efficient for Evan Hockey.
Yeah, Hockey, again, we talked about it earlier, just what the theme of this game has been. It was offensive rebounds. And there was another one. Not necessarily a killer yet, as Pinconning's looking to make something happen here.
As that shot comes up a little short, Labine was looking for some contact, and none there for the Rams. As with 30 seconds left in the game, they go over to Emmendorfer, and he's right in front of Coach. And guess what Coach said? Let's move this ball around and take our time.
He should have said, don't turn it over, if he was listening.
Labine lets another one fly from 3. Tickles the twine. It's 45-36 with 10 seconds left in the game. And they'll just bring that ball into the front court with 4 seconds left. Coach Chittle is going to pick up his first victory of the year for the Montrose Rams. That's all there is.
There is no more.
Final score in our ball game. The Rams from Montrose 45, the Pinconning area Spartans 36. Back in a moment to put the wraps on this one on BCTV.
Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs.
Back to put the wraps on this one on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Jason Newsham, and down 9-6 late in the first quarter and early into the second quarter. The Pinconning Spartans went on that 10-0 run, and it really looked like they were starting to figure things out offensively.
As a coach, I know sometimes you hate halftime, and they put a lot of good things at a 15-point quarter there in the second quarter alone. Got a couple of big threes by Lupke, got that momentum, and then halftime hits. And, one of those things where it's tough, especially, again, new coach, younger team in general, trying to make sure they put the wraps on everything and get everything feeling good. You don't want that momentum to stop. You almost want to keep them out here. You want to almost keep it going. But, on the flip side of it, give Montrose a ton of credit. They made a lot of adjustments. They came out of the second half. They attacked. They got to the free throw line. Went 1 for 6, but they set the tone because they put Pinconning on their heels, started getting foul trouble built up against Labine and against some of the other key contributors for Pinconning.
I think Emmendorfer really stepped up big once Macentis went down. Yes. He became the floor general. He made the big plays when they needed him for Montrose.
Finished with 24 big key threes and very confident shooter. He shot that one toward the end there that put him back up by 13 that – as a coach, you're going, no. It goes through, and it's like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's the shot we were calling for. And we all coach like that. We coach the moment, coach the play. And, but he definitely wore his heart on his sleeve. I thought he played a great game. I thought the big guys between Allen and Hosner there in the second half really took advantage of their strength and of the inside game, just from a rebound standpoint, getting to the foul line. And, again, once you're able to put the opponent into on their heels with the foul trouble and just with foul activity, it really leads to opportunities that weren't there in the first half.
Now you're going to look at the final score in this ball game, and you're going to go, wow, the Pinconning area Spartans didn't look like they played well. Actually, I thought they played very well, had great looks at the basket. Unfortunately, were not able to finish, but I think that their good shots were a product of their patience offensively.
I think when you look at the shot chart, Coach Cliff is going to be able to sit down with the staff and talk about exactly the right shot. They took a lot of the right shots. They made a lot of the right decisions. They made a lot of the right reads. It wasn't a situation where they were turnover prone. They just didn't make them. They just didn't finish. There's going to be games like that. There's been games like that when I've been at the rec center, and I missed a couple shots, and I'm like, what's going on here? So it happens even to the best of us on the basketball court. I think Michael Jordan only shot 48%. So, the reality of it is you got to be able to take the positive from it. If you're going to focus on negatives, you're really not going to do well as a coach, because there's so many times that you just want to go, wow, we wish we could do this better. But what you realize that's a correctable mistake. You're talking about finishing a layup, finishing at the rim. Got great pocket passes coming off of Levine's hands. Nashaka made a couple of nice moves, had a couple of nice shots. You have a lot to build on. Loris with the screens. You got a lot of things going well that you can build on off of this game, even in a loss.
I think another thing that Coach has done for Pinconning is he used a lot of players. You got to put players in situations to exceed and excel, and until you get them in there and get them to understand sitting on the bench, you better pay attention to what's going on, because you're going to have meaningful minutes, and you must understand the flow of the game before you come in.
Well, it's never about how you start. It's about the finishing aspect. We talked about that with Loris there in the first half. He came in midway through the first period, and he didn't go back. You couldn't take him out. He was doing a lot of the right things. So, if there's anything you can learn from that as somebody that's sitting on the bench, once you get your opportunity, you have got to make the most out of it. And the more that you stay in tune with what the team is trying to do, regardless of wins, regardless of losses, the more you're able to stay in tune and create that team atmosphere, you're going to be able to go out there and do your role and play your role.
Well, that about puts the wraps on our Collier Chiropractic post-game show. On behalf of the whole crew, I'm Jeff Doan along with Jason Newsham. Connor did a great job tonight under the watchful eye of Jeff Hildebrandt. So on behalf of our whole crew, have a great night. We'll look forward to talking with you soon. I believe our next game puts us right back up here with All Saints and Pinconning next week.
Absolutely. Looking forward to being back up here in Pinconning.
Have a great night.